Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to another true crime. Finally, I know. So today we're having Wingstop because what's new? So I have all of these are flats, and then this is just like a variety. These are Hawaiian, garlic Parmesan. These are supposed to be Cajun, but it looks like they're lemon pepper, maybe? No, maybe they are Cajun. They're just not very seasoned well. And then these are mango habanero, and have some more cucumbers because I was feeling those yesterday. And then some more ranch. This is the dip ranch that I was telling you guys about in my last video. Okay, I'm going to try these ones first. Sorry for the late upload. I did a little shopping and the day just kind of got away from me. Jose came home early. We went out for lunch. So I couldn't film for lunch like I usually do. So good. So I figured I'd wait till dinner time. If you guys hear background noise, talking, my kids are home. It is dinner time. I have fed them already. Yeah. So I'm just going to get right into the true crime. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to cry. So this might be kind of quick, which I don't mean for it to be, but like I said yesterday, just going over this and researching it, I cry every time. I cried about it today when I was going over my notes. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Junior Guzman. He was a 15-year-old boy from New York. He lived in the Bronx, in the Belmont area. He was going to be a junior in high school. He was part of this like junior police academy. I forget the name of it, but he aspired to be a detective and in law enforcement when he grew up. So he was part of this like junior police thing, and he would basically like learn about the law and stuff and teach other kids about it. A few of his best friends were in it as well. So this happened June 20th, 2018. So it wasn't even that long ago. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and Junior had left his house. His mom was resting because she had to work the next day. She worked in the intensive care department, I believe, at the hospital. So she was resting, and Junior had left to go meet a friend because he owed his friend $5, and just to hang out, you know. His friend didn't live too far away. It was during the summer, so there was no school. So he was over at his friend Jason's house. And they hung out on the stoop of his place, listening to music, you know, chatting. And his mom eventually calls him around 10:30 saying, hey, Junior, you know, it's getting kind of late. You need to start heading home. So he's like, okay, Mommy, you know, I'm going to be home. I'm going to start heading home. He didn't end up heading home till about 11:30. Now, gang violence in that part of the Bronx was common. There was a known gang called the Trinitarios, and they're mostly Dominican descent. And so while Junior was on his way home, he saw 4 suspicious cars. And they had kind of like slowed down and had to take a look at him, the people that were in the car. And then they started chasing him in the car. So Junior started booking it. He started running. He had a good head start on them. But instead of going straight home, Junior ran into a bodega, which was 1 block away from his house. And a bodega is like a mini mart. It's like a corner store, for those of you that didn't know. Oh, I'm drinking a seltzer water. It's raspberry flavored. So he runs in there frantic, like in a panic, and the store owner is kind of like shocked and doesn't really know what's going on, and Junior tries to jump over the counter. Now, everything from here on out, even before when he was on his way home, it's all caught on surveillance cameras. So if you research, I'm not going to put them on here, but if you research Junior Guzman Feliz, you'll see a bunch of videos about his last moments that night. So Junior runs into this bodega, and the owner is behind the counter, and he's kind of like, what's going on, you know, and at first tries to keep him from coming over because he thinks maybe he's getting robbed, you know. And then Junior tells him, you know, they're after me, I gotta hide. And so the bodega owner lets Junior hide behind the counter. But by the time he got behind the counter, Junior like poked his head up a little bit, and so the people that were chasing him, they came into the bodega and they saw him behind the counter. So I think there was about 4 guys. I'm not going to name any of them because if you guys want to know, you guys can look it up. But I just, there's so many people that got arrested for this. And they just don't deserve that fame. So I'm not even going to waste my time saying their name. But there was about 4 of them that followed him into the bodega. And they were telling the owner, you know, they basically lied and was like, hey, he did something to my grandma, to try to convince the owner to, you know, give them Junior. And they end up getting a hold of Junior and like punching him and then dragging him outside of the store. Now, while outside of the store, the 4 cars are waiting. There was a bunch of kids, all, well, some adults, all ranging from the age of like, I think they said 16 to 29 or something. And they were waiting for Junior. So they're dragging him outside of the store, and you can just see the look on Junior's face. He's like so afraid. He's only 15. The other kids, they were like 18, 19 that were dragging him. Once they drag him outside of the store, the people that were outside waiting for him were ready with knives in hand, and they just start stabbing him multiple times. The stabbing lasts a couple of minutes, and the very last stab that ultimately resulted in his death was a 4-inch stab wound to his neck. But Junior kept fighting. He was able to run back inside the bodega, and according to reports, the owner had already called 911 and basically told Junior, you know, hey, it'll be much faster if you just run to the hospital. The hospital was only 1 block away. So that's what Junior did. He goes outside. You can see him on surveillance, and there's people up in the apartments that were recording. So there's like different angles of the videos, and he's trying to get their attention and tell them to call 911, and then he just starts running, and you can tell he's injured, and he just starts running to the hospital. I started eating this one and didn't finish it. Now, by the time he gets to the hospital, he is just out of energy. He's lost so much blood, and he just falls to the steps, and he pretty much bleeds out, and that's on video too. Neighbors are gathering, like everybody's panicking. There's 2 cops that were questioned because they just kind of stood there, didn't really do anything to help him. They were waiting for police. His sister ends up showing up because she gets a call from one of her friends saying, hey, Junior's been stabbed. So she runs down. It was only a block away from their house, and his sister is like trying to console him. They're trying to keep him conscious. He ends up getting taken inside the hospital, and by the time his mom gets there, he is pronounced dead. Now, oh my God, people were blaming the bodega owner, saying that he wasn't helping him. You know, why didn't you help him? They were blaming the police. So, once the news hit, everybody knew that it was the Trinitarios gang. And once the news hit, the police got so many tips about what happened, what the motive was, and everything. So basically, this part is just so messed up. So basically what happened was, one of the Trinitarios members has a little sister who had a video go viral, I believe on Snapchat, and it was of her having intercourse with her boyfriend and somebody else, and it was being recorded, and her brother found out about it. He's in the Trinitario gang, and her brother confronted him about it. Her brother confronted her about it and was demanded to know who it was. This girl was also in the police, like junior police academy. I don't know exactly the name. So she knew who Junior was. Her boyfriend looked a lot like Junior. So she had, basically to save her boyfriend, because she knew what the Trinitario gang members were capable of, she said that it was Junior. And that's why the gang members had already been looking for this guy. Somebody who they thought was Junior, but it wasn't really Junior who they were supposed to be looking for. All because this little girl was trying to save her boyfriend. It's so sad. He died for nothing. Such a brutal, horrific death. For nothing. One by one, the gang members who were involved in the stabbing, they start getting arrested. They're being identified. One of the boys seen walking out of the store in the beginning of the bodega surveillance camera, he didn't have any part in the stabbing, but he basically cooperated with police and was naming. There was two guys that were naming other people in the video, and one by one, I think a total of 12 people got arrested, and all 5 of the people who were involved in the stabbing. That night of Junior's death, there was candles outside of the bodega. People had even put a petition for the bodega owner for his license to be revoked. He eventually sold the store and left because he was getting so much hate. The community came together because they saw that this was an innocent kid who died for no reason because of gang violence. And gang violence was on the downfall at the time, but they still had little incidences. So the girl that was involved, that was in the video, she was a minor. She was 15. She was Junior's age, actually. There's also a petition going around. She ended up working with the police, basically trading her brother. She ended up working with the police to... She's being protected by police, pretty much. But there's a petition that people are signing online because they want to see her do some time for it, you know? Because she's the reason why they were even looking for him in the first place. So all 5 of the men that were involved in stabbing Junior, they ended up getting life sentences. I should have asked for these well done. Which is good. I believe the trial was earlier this year, in June, I think. And they all ended up getting life sentences. One of the kids who turned himself in right away, because he cooperated with the police and helped identify and tell them where their hiding spot was, because some of the gang members, they had like a safe house and they would go there. It was in New Jersey, and they were able to find them there because of this guy. So yeah, justice was served. As soon as this happened, there was a hashtag that trended right away. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It was on the news, on Twitter, on Facebook. Justice for Junior. Hashtag Justice for Junior. So, Junior ended up having his funeral. And the ushers, I think that's what they're called, I'm not sure. The people that carried his casket, they all wore Yankees jerseys because that was Junior's favorite team. And there's also a mural outside of the bodega where everything happened. And also because of this, there's now new safety precautions or safety measures taken for bodegas, people who own bodegas, to help protect kids in case this were to happen again. Which is, it's very good. And ever since this incident with Junior, gangs have also come together to stop the violence. There's some Trinitario gang members that basically have a green light on them. Because they didn't agree with what happened with Junior. It should have never happened. They think it was an embarrassment. So yeah, it's very sad. There's a lot of information, a lot of news reports that you can see here on YouTube. And it's just heartbreaking. He was a very handsome, very smart, funny kid. And he died for nothing. For something that he didn't even do. They say it was a case of mistaken identity. So, it was so good. I didn't get any fries or anything because I ate earlier today. I had Indian food. Jose took me out to Indian food because we were watching Mama D and Dom. They were eating Indian food and I was like, oh my god, that looks so good. So when he got off today, he's like, hey, you want to go get some lunch? Let's go get some Indian food. I was like, heck yeah. These are my favorite. They've gotten cold though. That's okay, they're still good. Jose is waiting very patiently to come down and eat. So I will eat this last one and then say our goodbyes. I'm going to try and film another video for you guys tomorrow. But we'll see. I know I do not clean my bones very well. Ooh, this one's spicy. Alright. I got my nose a lot shorter this time because I was going to be cooking for Thanksgiving. And I don't know. It just seemed appropriate to have short nails if I was going to be cooking that much food for other people, you know. So alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry about the late upload. Maybe you guys like it because it's true crime. But this was kind of a sad one. I tried not to go too much into detail because I didn't want to cry. Yeah, so I always get so like awkward at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing so you can become an A-lister. All you gotta do is hit that red button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know the second that I upload a new video. Leave me a comment of what you would like to see me eat next. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow with a new video. Bye.